Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Our first story about a petty situation that made our OP a little upset, but in the end, justice prevailed. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. You want to be an a-hole over one business card? Let me destroy the rest. I didn't really take part on this, but it just happened right in front of me and I thought it was great material for you. Context. I work at a big family-owned dealership which has a high-ish turnover, which means we're constantly hiring new salespeople. When they're hired, they get a box of 500 business cards for free, and after that, they have to pay for their own. Tim, not his real name, was hired a little over a month ago, and on his free box, he had 499 cards. The boxes never have 500 exact. They usually have over 500, not exactly sure why this happens, but the boxes are slightly bigger, so they tend to have over the 500 cards it's supposed to have. So the story. I make the order of the business cards with X company. A week ago, Tim asked me to order him a box, and he said to me, "And make sure you don't screw up like last time. My box better have 500 business cards." I took this as a joke since I don't know him, so I just told him, sure. A week goes by, and the guy from X company came to deliver the business cards. I paged him so he could come by and pick his cards. So he came and, in a really annoyed tone, asked me, "What the F do you want?" I told him that X company was here with his cards, so he needed to go speak with him to retrieve them and pay for them. He gave me an even more annoyed look, huffed, and went. And this is how their conversation went. Tim: "So you are the idiot that can't count for crap, huh?" X company guy: "Excuse me?" Tim: "Yeah, on my last order of business cards, I had 499, not 500, you moron." X company guy: "Oh, I see. I'm sorry about that, but they never have 500 cards. We don't really count them. We just put enough to fit the box, which usually ends up being over 500. Tim: "Well, I don't give a crap. I'm paying for 500, so I better get 500. You better count my cards to make sure I have all mine, or else I'm not paying for them." He has to pay for them regardless, by the way. X company guy already looked very annoyed with Tim and sighs. "I don't really see the need on this, but sure, let's count them for you." He started counting them in front of Tim, and the count ended up at 516. X company guy: "I'm sorry about this. I'll just burn these 16 extras later." Tim: No, leave those. You owe them to me because of last time." X company guy: "You said you wanted your 500, so sorry, can't do it. You're only paying for 500, so that's all you're getting." After that, he threw the extras in the shredder box. Tim looked angry, and I felt happy for what I'd just witnessed. After that, Tim just left and went to smoke with a very annoyed face, and the X company guy looked like he was going to have a nice rest of the day. And our second story. You absolutely need this TV today? Okay. This was a few months back. I worked at a big box retail store that, according to certain customers, is going out of business despite record stock prices and exceeding analyst expectations. I was in home theater. For some reason, many customers don't have the foresight to bring cars that would fit TVs they intend on buying. TVs that are laid flat are prone to cracking, especially bigger ones, so we won't help load TVs that are going to be laid flat. For that reason, our store offers free delivery to ensure no issues. Still, we have customers that absolutely need that TV that day. I'm me, and impatient customer is IC. We're at the register. Me: "Okay, we have the 65-inch QLED in open box. Open box means it was returned. We do our functionality checks to ensure working condition and discount it. I'll get that up for you. What vehicle do you have? I want to make sure it fits." IC: "I have an SUV. It'll fit." Me: "I'm sorry, man, but if you intend on laying it flat, you might crack it. How about we deliver it for free to you? It'll take like 3 days. IC: "What's the point of going to you guys if I don't get it now? This is why you guys are going out of business. I need it now. Otherwise, I would have just ordered it." Me: "Well, people usually bring a vehicle that can transport a TV that big. It won't fit in your vehicle." IC: "It will fit. Just bring it to my car." Me: "Are you sure?" IC: "What did I say?" IC finishes paying and goes to get his car. I grab the TV from inventory and take pics of the TV in box in excellent condition. I usually take pics of our open box TVs on the off chance this happens. Most of the time, things are fine. But this is that one time. I bring the TV up front and IC pulls his car up. Me. I can't help you load it since it won't fit. TV should be stood up and not laid down. IC. I heard you the first time. Just hurry up and I'll load it myself. IC loads the TV flat, and since this is a bigger TV, I already know how this will turn out. 4 hours later. Hey, inventory, we have a return on a QLED. Customer needs help bringing it in. IC comes up to customer service. IC. You guys sold me a cracked TV. I want my money back. Customer service. That's highly unlikely. We don't sell broken items, and we double-check to ensure it works. IC. I don't give a F what you did. It was cracked when I opened it up. Customer service. Did you have it laying down? We offer free delivery for this exact reason. IC. Are you saying it's my fault? I drive perfect. At this point, I come up. A manager is there. Me. I warned you, and you denied the free delivery. IC. You're blaming the customer? You guys sold me a cracked TV. You guys better back up your products. At this point, he's making a scene about how we are scam artists and, again, how we're going out of business. I pull out my phone and show the pictures to my manager and the customer. The customer goes from full confidence to realizing he can't return his $2,000 plus TV because of his own impatience. Manager. I'm sorry, sir, but we cannot take user-damaged items back. Later, the manager buys me a snack because I saved them a huge return. Yep, the best thing in the world is when you don't have to work with people you don't want to work with. And our last story. Trick a naive woman into paying for unnecessary car parts? You'll lose business from the entire community and your job. My family's from a pretty small town. It has a population of roughly 3,500 people, mostly old folks, but it serves as a hub of commerce for all the surrounding towns. Due to this, my town has a handful of car dealerships, and the one my family buys from is the most popular of all the local dealerships. So a few years ago, during harvest season, I came home to help out, and just so happened that my car, 1998 and in excellent shape, needed an oil change. Given that it's the busy season and my family is occupied trying to pull the crop from the ground, I decided to take my car into the local GM dealership. The dealership has been selling vehicles and parts to my family for literally generations, so I trusted them. I pull in, toss my keys into the hands of one of the mechanics after some idle chatter, and then get cozy in the waiting room. Less than a half hour passes and I'm approached by the sales manager, Ronald, who's holding a stack of papers. Now, Ronald is one of the older men within the dealership. He's stern-faced and well-respected in his position, so when he sticks a pile of paperwork under my nose and tells me my brakes are going and they need to be replaced ASAP or else, I'm rightfully scared. Now, I'm a young woman and I know almost nothing about cars. So what do? I call my dad. My dad answers my call, irritated because he's being interrupted in the middle of his work, and tells me to order the parts and he'll replace the brake pads himself. So I relay this to the sales manager. He begrudgingly hands me over to the parts manager. The information I was given was that my brake pads were almost entirely into the red and my rotors needed to be replaced as well because it was almost entirely rusted out. I find this information to be strange. You can usually tell when your brakes are going, right? So a simple repair easily turns into a $400 plus expense. I'm a university student, and after buying what I was told, I knew I was going to be eating only ramen for the rest of the month. Some time passes, harvest is done, and my dad comes storming into the house one day. Now, what you need to know was that my dad has an explosive temper. He will lose his crap over the small inconvenience. But this time his rage was almost entirely silent, save for the stomping and slamming of the doors. It's then I'm told to put on some pants because we're going to town. The entire 15 minutes of the trip was quiet. I was silently crapping myself the whole way until we pulled up into the dealership. For some context, my family is a relatively big name in our community, as my father and 3 of my uncles all have their own separate homegrown businesses. A lot of their success is owed to some of the community, and as a way of saying thanks, my family frequently makes donations to public projects, so it's pretty difficult to do business in town without running into someone who shares my surname. Inside the dealership, my dad tells me to sit down and shut up while he storms into the sales manager's office, closing the door behind him. My dad almost instantly explodes with rage, And even through the shut door, everyone in the dealership heard exactly what my dad had to say. To summarize, Ronald, the sales manager, lied to me, which isn't much of a surprise. You hear stories about people getting the wool pulled over their eyes all the time, especially women. Turns out when my dad graciously began to replace my brake pads, he noticed immediately that I had been told a load of bullcrap. My brake pads were hardly worn and my rotors were perfectly fine. His only daughter had been tricked out of a lot of money and he was PO'd. So my dad replaced everything and gave Ronald what was coming. He laid it out, telling Ronald exactly what he was going to do. My dad was going to tell everyone. He was going to tell his business partners, his friends, my uncles and their customers, and everyone in the local pub that night the truth and how everyone's favorite GM dealership tried to screw over his kid. My dad's a pretty popular guy, and he knew how to work the power that small towns held. You see, if the daughter of an influential businessman can get screwed over, what about everyone else's kids and grandkids? In less than a week, word had spread across the entire town. That same year, the amount of GM vehicles around town became fewer and fewer. A new parts shop opened next door to my uncle's electrical shop, and it just so happens the Ford dealership in town built a brand new building to accommodate the influx of business just last year. I know firsthand that my family, extended included, buy their GM and Chevy vehicles from the province next door. I'm absolutely certain that if this town wasn't as small as it was, nothing would have happened to the dealership or Ronald. But it goes to show the power of tight-knit communities. Old Ronald was eventually encouraged to retire. The best part? My dad and I left the dealership that day with a personal check tucked in my wallet as an apology. No more ramen for me. Unfortunately, this is not unusual. Some mechanics, when they see a woman, they think sucker. This isn't all of them by any means, but sadly for the good guys, there's always bad apples on the tree. Glad your dad was able to sort things out. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.